Hello everybody, happy Friday, which means the weekend is finally here, or at least it is in the UK, and that means we get to see the second part of the parcel opening that I started on Tuesday. Of course, we began with the Morocco Swallows shirt, which I think you'll all agree definitely had a very interesting, eye-catching design, and this one, as I mentioned towards the end of that video, is a club that no longer exists, and that's part of the reason why, in fact it's the main reason why I decided to make this purchase. So we still have the package here. Let's just grab the shirt, pull it out. There is nothing else in there because there was only 2 parcels purchased. And there we go. There is the shirt. It's blue, which is always a great start as a Chelsea fan. And what is also great is to see that there is a sponsor on this. Now, long-term viewers of the channel, once I open this up and explain, will sort of understand why I've decided to make this purchase again and why I'm pretty pleased to see this sponsor. So let's just grab this one and get it open and ensure that it is what I did order. Looking good so far. So, there is the shirt. So the rear of the shirt, it's pretty standard. You've got this blue effort, and there is a little bit of a motif on the back of the shirt there, which says, "We are many, we are one." I can only imagine it's some sort of club motto there. And at the bottom there is an X at the bottom. I wonder what that stands for. And then we have the front of the shirt. So you've got the continuation of that blue going on. And you have the crest with another X laying behind it. You have the sponsor, which is actually really shiny. It's quite a shiny transfer, that is. And then at the bottom, you've got to see this white trim that only runs at the bottom there. It's a very nice shirt. And of course, it is Macron, which is always going to be a nice little thing for me, considering how much I appreciate their work. Now, there is a patch there which does say Canadian Premier League, which gives you an idea of where it's from. It is from Mexico. No, it's definitely from Canada, of course. So, let me just dress the mannequin, and I'll come back to you and explain to you why I decided that it was necessary to grab one of these shirts for my collection. Okay, everybody, blue is definitely the colour, and the team, if you didn't see it on the crest there, is FC Edmonton, and this is their home shirt from 2020, so it's a couple of seasons old now. Now, of course, I did buy it from Classic Football Shirts, and it cost me, following a 20% discount, £32.99, and it currently retails for £39.99, and unlike the Morocco Swallow shirt, yes, they do have some available. In fact, they have every single size available apart from small, so there is definitely some variety there for all of you who are watching and maybe take some interest in this particular shirt. Now, FC Edmonton was a Canadian football team from Edmonton in Alberta, and I say was because they dissolved not 2 months ago, towards the end of 2022 in November. They kind of no longer exist as a football team. Now, they were founded in 2010, playing first in the North American Soccer League, NASL, before being one of the founding teams in the inaugural Canadian Premier League. Now, the first season they finished a respectable 4th out of 7 teams, and then following on from there, they finished either last or second last, so it didn't really go too well following that first season. And this poor performances on the pitch, along with low attendance figures, less than like 1,000 on average, and certain issues with sort of finances, resulted in a change of ownership, and then ultimately, I think it was the Canadian FA just said, look, we can't be having you in league anymore, and Edmonton sort of lost their place as like a sort of franchise, I guess it is. So that is the reason why currently this team doesn't exist. Now, don't be too surprised if you see them sort of reborn or rebirthed. Might not necessarily be with the same name, but that's just generally how it works there. And they do play in blue as their primary colours, of course, with there being their home shirt, that kind of makes sense. And it's their inspiration by the Saskatchewan River. How about that, eh? So, it is a Macron shirt, and that shouldn't really surprise you considering it is a Canadian Premier League team, and Macron have the licence going forward for a number of years for the entirety of the league. So if you are going to be picking up a Canadian shirt, a Canadian club shirt, should we say, it's going to be a Macron shirt, which is always good because I love those, and it kind of makes sense because the other Canadian shirts I have are naturally Macron there. Now, when it comes to the styling of the shirt, there is the large X's, which I mentioned. Now, if you were putting 2 and 2 together, you realise this is their 10th year anniversary shirt, and of course X in Roman numerals means 10. Now, there's one on the back behind the crest here. And there's also one literally on the back. Now, what you probably might not really notice is a very subtle embossed rabbit. And what that is the Rally Rabbit, which apparently this rabbit once ran onto the pitch during a game that Edmonton were losing quite heavily. And then once this rabbit appeared and ran off or did whatever it needed to do, they turned it around and won. And it's kind of been sort of seen as a symbol of good fortune and kind of used as part of the club identity. So it is present very subtly on this shirt here. Now on the back I did mention that it has sort of just "we are many, we are one." I think that must be a club motto. You Google it and you just get sort of lyrics for a song there. But it is very, very nice. I love Macron shirts. I just love the detailing. I love the combination of the blue with the navy and this white trim at the bottom there. This is a nice plastic transfer. That's embroidered, and so is that there. And there are some little popper buttons, which is always a nice way to do a little collar. I do like a little popper button collar there. But that is probably all you're going to see. There have been quite a few Canadian shirts that I've dropped on classic football shirts over the years, and it seems to be that they have a pretty decent connection when it comes to dropping the price. I remember the first drop of, I think it was the first season's worth. Price were really low. I wish I'd picked them up, but recently they've been a little bit higher, £35, £40 there. But I do like to have shirts for teams that don't exist right now or don't exist in the current form, etc. Because it usually sort of preserving a little bit of history there, and if they're as nicely put together like this one, then that is an absolute bonus. So if you are interested in adding something that's going to be a little bit more different, and I just noticed now it just have the 2010 and 2020 just to the bottom of there. So it's these small little details that Macron are always excelling at. Sorry. Anyway, that is it. Those are the two purchases that I've made. I think you'll probably agree they were pretty decent additions. Nothing too spectacularly out there, but I do have some of those arriving, and I might show you one of them next week. So as always, thank you for watching my videos. I hope you have a great weekend ahead, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Goodbye.